Hello, Aquarius. My name is Victoria Martin, and I'm an Aquarius, and I'm going to take you through 2016. So it's kind of interesting to be doing the reading for myself and for all you groovy Aquarians out there. So Aquarians have a real knack for astrology, so you can all kind of play along. I'm going to tell you first each month what the flavor of the month is, and then how does that affect you in your personal horoscope. So January 2016, my distilling on this is we're going to get omens and signs about who has real power. And there's more revolution on the horizon and more upgrade jitters, constant upgrade process. So be cool, manage your brand, attend to your duties. And Mercury's retrograde January 5th through 25th, so extra time and extra, crispness, let's say, in communications, transportation. So the new moon starts off for Aquarians in the 12th house. We're wrapping up the year. We're saying, where are we at with our spirituality? What kind of dreams are, your dreams will tell you a lot. And then coping with the nemesis, people you can't stand, situations that are disagreeable, that's the real test of character. So in this case with Pluto there's some pretty spooky things going on, and yet there are things that if you conquer them properly can bring power and wealth, right? So that's the new moon setting the trends. So you might feel that things are a little adverse to you. You would much rather have just an open meeting, and just because there's your preference here with your ruling planet Uranus is you really want to just have a great discussion, and yet this seems spooky because you're picking up the undertow and what's happening behind the scenes. So then we get into February, and this is probably a lot of Koreans having birthdays in February. The month is a sleeper, waking up at the end, but even then seems dreamy. So pay attention to clues, train your ESP, avoid toxins. So this full moon in your 8th house is going to emphasize collaborations, contracts, and troubleshooting. Neptune in your 2nd house, a complicated sort of resources and very high glamorous and sensitive aesthetics, and your instincts will alert you to illusions, trickery, and chaos. Okay, so that's good. On that full moon, that's February 20th through March 2nd. Now, getting into March, global opinions are going to shift regarding religion, patronage, and healing. Be ready for anything, keep the faith, use science. Aquarians are good at science and worst-case analysis. So, in this case, the new moon is in your area of survival, materials and tools and resources. So you want to watch your possessions very carefully and go through, profits or debts, get everything set up so you know what you're doing. Now, then that morphs into full moon lunar eclipse, and this is often a challenge, and this is going to bring great validity or enlightenment in terms of education, religion, and travel, and heightened global awareness. So your world citizenship is featured here. April 2016 is a wild, futuristic month. It's charismatic and humane elements. The quest is going to be furthered by science and more networking. So the new moon in your 3rd house, and you like meetings and demonstrating your media skill set. This is a strong point, and that would be fairly easy to do for you the first week of April. But the complexity is that you're in a constant awareness, premonition state. You're kind of like this. Would you say involuntary prophet, where you just keep picking up on trends and almost overwhelming, and you pick up on subtle cues in connection with meetings, and you're reading everybody. So you almost have to keep that to yourself, though. In May 2016, there are heroic missions coming forth. Your allies can reinforce each other. You can pool resources for success, but there's that Mercury retrograde, April 28th through May 22nd, so extra care in communications. Well, there's a full moon here, May 19th through 23rd, in your 11th house, benefactors, patrons, and friends. So this is great. I mean, you can get into new groups. Aquarians love that. They always want to meet new people. This is exciting. Some people are in show-off mode. Of course, people love an audience, so you can be a good listener and try to resolve conflicts, because Aquarians love peace. June 2016, a rewarding but challenging month with tricky and tempting components. Whew, wow. Use strategy, not emotions. Revise. That's what we're all going to be doing. So this is a really interesting time for you regarding your talent, your children, if you have any. There's this great sense of expectancy, and that's kind of balanced by some of these big shots and VIPs that you have, in terms of who your friends are and what they're becoming and who you're meeting. So that would be fairly easy, but then you add in all this other stuff that you've got some opportunities for business, and then you've got this complicated situation regarding all these resources and this really kind of highly sensitized or glamorous set of aesthetics. So it's just, these are all jammed in the first week of June. Set it straight while you can. Pay attention. The new moon sets the trends for the month. In July 2016, we're regrouping on issues. So take stock, see who's on your team. Great team building the first week of July going on. In this case, you're focused on work, duties, accounting, your health, and meanwhile, of course, that involuntary profit at work and just telling you everything that's going on, vivid dreams. Write down your dreams. They'll tell you 6 to 9 months ahead what's going on, or even what's happening now, or even clearing up the past. They're all very useful. And in this case, too, carrying off into August, the first 3 quarters of August is really fun. So play it up, even though that's kind of your half birthday period. So you want to be seeing people who are on your side. Back to school time, that'd be the 3rd week of August, holds many dear lessons, so build strength. So in this case, a lot of your friends are really taking on huge projects. Mars conjunct Saturn, so it's like you can be a help to them, you can give them reassurance and confidence. It's always, Aquarians are usually really good friends. But you have to watch your own resources, that you don't overspend helping people with their problems. If these people can afford it, they should reimburse your expenses. Or, if you've got stuff you want to give up, that's fine, but you don't want to, that friends and money mix is always a little tricky, so be aware of that. And what's kind of neat, though, is you may be developing some business options during this time. September is eclipse season coming around. Assignments take everybody on a rocky road. Positive outcomes are likely, but changes in the wind. So the last week is very lucky, but the first 3 quarters we're carrying over from August. Mercury retrograde, August 30th through September 22nd. So the new moon phase is bringing in new business, new collaborations. That's really great. And this could be very positive. Though, there's always that that intensity on a solar eclipse. And so your friends are big shots. And here we get that friends and money mix. So you're probably aware of how this is working out. Starting November 2015, you should be better at it and not kind of like resolving it at this point. So then the lunar eclipse in the 2nd house. Guard over your materials, tools, resources. Watch your objects, extra care with things. You don't want to rush through and packing or unloading, or guard your valuables and your wallet, and any kind of, be really careful with passwords, identity theft. This is on the full moon, which is the lunar eclipse on September 14th through 18th. October is a whole other thing. Starts off with a bang. It's truly a rocket ride in the future. Very fun socially. So get out, be generous, learn new skills. The new moon here in your 9th house, education, religion, and travel featured really great, a sense of wonder about life. This is starting a new trend now for the next 12 months. You might get some additional education. You might do some really fun travel things. Could be really great. So that's September 24th through October 2nd, that new moon. Then the full moon is bringing great light to meetings, so some really amazing meetings, and there's this great sense of the future, of innovation and charisma, so that should be very, very positive for you. That's October 12th through 18th. November is mostly neutral, some surprise options, of course, but it's going to catch up, and a lucky new moon at the end of November. First, we're going to look at Jupiter going through your 9th house is, maybe filling in the gaps for some educational things, and then you just let that churn around with your spirituality to see what that really means to you. The new moon at the end of November is featuring your 10th house of your career. So that's really exciting, and then you have this kind of development in terms of your education. And then Mars going in your 1st house gives you a little bit of extra strength. Actually, I think that that new moon would be in your 11th house. That's a mistake on that slide. I apologize. So that the new moon is new groups and friends, which could be a carryover from your career, actually, time frame, which would be November. So anyway, but the Mars in your 1st house during this time frame would give you, adding new strength or muscle and that sort of thing. So, improving your workout. So December is an action-packed marathon, squeezing out extra work from all of us. And Mercury's retrograde December 19th through January 8th. So first thing we're looking at is the full moon in December. and this is going to emphasize your talent, and it's also going to attract the attention of your benefactors, patrons, and friends, which is kind of cool. And that this is helped by your special ability in meetings to be charismatic and friendly and to be all things for all people. Continuing into 2017, we're going to see accelerated education, more participation in religion and travel, and then this you can bring that expertise in meetings, and that can really work well for you throughout the next year, 2017. So lastly, we're going to look at the new moon in your 12th house, the renewed spirituality, vivid dreams, and hopefully make your plans to cope with nemesis, difficult situations in a responsible manner, because the new moon does set the trends. And also we have more resources coming your way, maybe some gifts or some really profound aesthetic experiences, and your materials, tools, and resources can be difficult or complicated, and maybe some perishable items are some sensitive things you have to pay attention to. So have a great year, Aquarius. I think it's going to be interesting for you, I should say us. I'm an Aquarius. Thank you for watching, and my name is Victoria Martin.
Bu akşam seminerimizi canlı olarak mobil uygulamamız üzerinden yapıyoruz.